Hello and welcome to the workshop, and welcome back to part 3 of the Memorial Garden Bench restoration. So in this video it's where I start putting the bench back together again, and I'm using dowels in the mortise and tenon joints just to reinforce them, and I'll show you how I make the dowels. I think there's a bit about how I drill underneath the arm when using a right angle attachment on the drill, and on the handle, on the armrests, how I locate the dowel positions, and at the end of it how I finish the bench with the garden furniture finish from Screwfix, and that's it. And the bench looks absolutely fantastic. I'm really over the moon with it. So I hope you enjoy watching. So all the joints on this part, and that end, they've all been glued, and I've put wooden dowels in to hold them in position. You see one just there. These ones are hidden. These ones are hidden behind here. You can see we've got two here which I've still got to cut off, and on the other end here just need cutting off and sanding back. So I'm just thinking about getting prepared for installing this arm. Now I've already done the other side, but I thought I needed to show you how I'm going to do that. Obviously this end has got a tenon which goes into the mortise, into the bench, which will then be a pin or a dowel put in there, sorry. But this end, what they previously done was just put a lag bolt or a coach screw, or whatever you want to call it. But I thought it needed something slightly better than that. So I've drilled two dowel holes, 6mm dowel holes in the end here, and I've got these little markers, dowel hole markers, bring it here. So it's got a pointy end. This end goes in, sorry, I'm trying to get this. So this end goes into the hole, this end protrudes, and then all you do is, so you put it in the hole like so, put the arm into the slot, and just in its right position, it's just lay it on top. This is so the dowel holes line up, and then just give it a couple of taps like so. Pull it up, and hopefully you can see there I've got one mark there and one mark there. So hopefully they line up, or they definitely will line up with the holes already drilled in the end of the leg. So as you can see in here, I have drilled two 6mm holes. They go through the mortise, which is on the underside of here, and this is the tenon that fits into that mortise. And down here I've drilled another two 6mm holes, and they're for location dowels. So what I want to show you now is how I make the dowels. So firstly, I turn them on the lathe down to about 6.5 mm diameter, maybe a little bit bigger. And so it's a really good fit. I then use this dowel jig, and it goes from 6 mm all the way up to 13 mm diameter dowel sizes. This was generously made for me by Simon from Simon Makes It on Instagram. I'll leave a link to his Instagram account in the description. He got his son-in-law to make this, who works in an engineering workshop, and this is fantastic for getting your dowel sizes right. So this is about 6.5 mm diameter, and it doesn't go through there. So it's going into about the 7 mm diameter hole. So we'll knock that through and then just go down the sizes to get to the right side. So all you need is a good tap through. And then what I do is with a punch, just to punch it through. So that's into the 7. And then we'll start it through the 6.5. So So it's a couple of days later, just to show you where I've got to in the repair of the bench. Now, cut and filled all the gaps in with some pads, and unfortunately this bit just had a bit of a chip out on it when I was planing it, so I've had to fill that in. I filled in some of the really little holes with some filler, which is the tight bond to glue with sawdust. And we've got a little bit at the back there, down on that foot. In the front here, where there was big holes where they'd recessed the bolt heads. So we've got another couple of pads in there, in the top there, and then there's a couple at the back here as well. If you can just see down there, there's one on that leg, and then one on that leg. So they've just all got to be sanded. I've done that all off camera, mainly because I needed to really get on with it. This strut went in really well. So what I've done there, I'm just going to turn this over so you can see it easier. Yeah. So what I've done is I put 2 dowels into this piece, and they obviously register into this piece. Then I've put 2 screws in there to secure it nicely, and then I just recess them and put 2 dowels in there, and that's just got to be sanded off. And then it was the tenon in here, and that's it. All it's got to do is, once that's all dried, all the fillers dried, all I've got to do is just give it a wipe down and then put some finish on it, and then put the slats back on the top, and it'll all be done. So all the patches and the filling in has all been sanded back. It's all been hoovered All the dust has been hoovered and brushed off. The bench, I haven't put the slats on because I'm going to do them separately, because I want to do all the new bits on this side and everything first. And I'm going to be using the Screwfix non-nonsense garden furniture oil and some really nice brushes called Pro Deck. I've got these in a set, and I can't remember if it was Toolstation or if it was Screwfix, to be honest. And these are really nice brushes to use, so I highly recommend them, and I'll put a link down in the description below for where you can purchase them. So let's get on and coat this bench. Because I've got to drill a pilot hole in here, with a drill in it, or even without a drill in it, I can't get under there to drill the hole. So I have one of these right angle drills, attachments, that I can put in there, as you can see. Yes, it's finished. All the slats, all the new pieces, all the patches, and it's solid as a rock. There is nothing that's going to budge it. I'm really pleased with it. I'm pleased I've got it back to a good state that we can use it again, and it isn't a health and safety trap. We've got the lovely old plaque, all nicely polished up, and you can read the plaque really nicely for the inscription. So that's it. Just to recap what I did on it. First of all, I had to put a new stretcher in here underneath these slats, a new stretcher in the back there, a new stretcher down by the feet, used the old one there, patched all the holes that had been drilled into it for the coach bolts, and I'm really sorry about the dog next door, but he's going skate. And then gave it some oil. I gave it this Screwfix garden furniture oil. Goes on really well. Really like this. So anything else that comes up with, well, I've got another bench, another one similar to this to redo, and yeah, anything else that gets garden wise, that'll be a product to use, because this absorbed that oil really well, and the colour change is amazing, because this was like a strawy gold colour, and now it's gone back to a nice deep reddish colour. So thank you for watching. Hope this has given you something to view, to look at and think, I could do something like that as well. So if you like it, subscribe, do the like button, do the bell, and stay in touch for some more videos. Bye for now, guys.